Hi there, my name is Pieter Bond from Ghent University, and in this demonstrator I show you how semantic web technologies, reasoning and stream reasoning can be used to enable personalized and reactive route planning. Have you ever been frustrated because your route planner is not able to figure out the most optimized route when you have multiple destinations, or does not warn you that you will not be able to catch your bus connections due to traffic disruption? Then stay tuned. So let's first zoom into the various components into play here. First, we have a generator that generates a transport update stream, basically containing any transport update. We have the RML streamer that maps the traffic streams to the disruption ontology model. The C-sprite stream reasoner that can infer in real time if a traffic event will cause a disruption for the route of the user. We have Amadeus that takes the profile and the preferences of the user into account and produces a personalized route. Finally, we have the Open Planner to communicate with the public transport APIs. So on the left hand side we see the profile and route plane, and on the right hand side we see the monitoring pane. But let's first focus on the profile pane, which allows us to plan routes taking the profile and the goal of the user into account. So looking at the profile of our user, we see that he works in Brussels, he lives in Ghent, he likes to walk but not more than 15 minutes, he likes to bike, but his bike is currently at the library in Ghent, and he likes to help out the elderly. Looking at his goals, he wants to go home, he wants to visit Sabine, an elderly who lives in Zwijnaarden, and he wants to have his bike back at home. So the route planner will plan a route that takes into account his preferences and will make sure that all his goals will be finished at the end of the day, and most importantly in the most optimized order. So we see that he has to walk from his work to Brussels, take the train to the station in Ghent, then take the bus to the home of Sabine the elderly, take another bus from Sabine back to the city center in Ghent, where he can walk to fetch his bike. Finally, he can bike back home and all his goals will be adhered. In the background, the platform will start monitoring the traffic streams in order to detect traffic disruptions early on and suggest alternatives to the user. The map is showing the real-time updates and the locations of the various disruptions. For demonstration purposes, we use a generator to generate the content of the traffic stream. The traffic stream can contain different kind of traffic events. However, not all of them will induce a disruption. It's only the events that are a subclass of the disruptive event that are possibly can cause trouble. The monitoring pane also shows some stream insights, such as the number of updates that have been received. So if we manually induce a disruption that has influence on the route of the user, we can see that the platform automatically detects. We see the red dot on the right, and we also see a warning on the left. On the right hand side we also see in the stream that a disruption has been detected. An alternative route can now be computed for the user. It adheres to his preferences and his goals. But let's focus a little bit more on this stream reasoner here, because it's very cool what it can do. It can you can allow it to monitor for very specific or very generic events. So currently we're looking for all disruptive events, but you can ask it, for example, to monitor for all the accidents that's happened. So we will save this. We will also allow any bus stop or any bus line, and we will also show the results. And we'll increase the speed a little bit so we have more events coming in. So now we see all the events coming in, for example, vehicle off the road, a rear collision. So it will detect all kind of accidents that happened. So let's say that we're not interested in accidents, but only in public transport events. You can do the same thing. You can update the reasoner, and now it will only detect, for example, that public transport has been cancelled. Okay, apparently it was cancelled twice. There has been a diversion, and so on and so forth. So by taking this hierarchy of events into account, we can filter out very specifically what kind of data that we're interested in this stream that is currently being sent. So I will reduce the load here a little bit. So of course the goal is, when we are monitoring for all kind of disruptive events, going from Hans en Pieters to Oostaarde, Zwenaarde, and there is indeed a disruption going on. So we have this red dot here at the Hans en Pieters station, that it will send feedback to the user, which is here on the left, and say, okay, something happened at the Hans en Pieters station, which will cause a delay for the route that you have planned. So you can load a new route. So as the disruption had an influence on all the buses leaving the station, and the planner knows that Rick also likes to bike, he knows this from his profile, the planner will suggest that Rick will take a public bike instead. So in this demonstrator we have shown how semantic web technologies, reasoning and stream reasoning can be exploited for personalized and reactive route planning. If you have any questions, please ask me in a discussion or send me an email at pieterbonte@uhent.be.